Welcome back to the BHS Spotlight. I'm pleased to be joined with two of our senior archers with our archery team, Nadine Davis and Henry Durkheisen. Welcome. Nadine, this BHS archery program is somewhat of a recent phenomenon with the Batesville Community School Corporation and has developed into one of our most successful programs. From where did your interest in archery begin, and how has that developed throughout your time at Batesville High School?
So it's actually quite a funny story. I had no interest in archery before I even got into it. My mom basically forced me to do it because, one, they needed more girls, and two, my brother I was going to be at the tournaments anyway, and my brother shoots archery also, so Mom was like, you're going to go. So I went to one practice. It was terrible, but I fell in love with it, and ever since then, I've had everything in archery. Actually, last year I was a NEST student contributor, nationwide, so.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, good. So this extends well beyond just the local level, but also getting involved in archery at the high school level from a national standpoint overall.
Yeah.
Henry, this program actually begins at Batesville Intermediate School and runs now through obviously the senior year, your senior year. Tell us a little bit about how practice is structured for all ages, beginning with the new archers, those that begin at whatever age, through the most experienced.
So in the beginning with the BIS kids, it's going to be more so focused on the 11 steps of archery, your beginning topics, making sure that they have just the structure of how everything will work down. And then as they go through and progress each year, you'll start learning more of your techniques. And then by the time you get to the high school, you're more into your perfecting your draw, perfecting your release, everything like that. There's really not going to be a whole lot of one-on-one time unless you ask for it at the high school level. Compared to BIS, you're going to make sure that every kid gets exactly what they need so they have it down pat and nobody's getting hurt, anything like that.
It takes a lot of effort on a coaching staff, right? With starting at the Batesville Intermediate School all through the high school level. Nadine, we have over 200 students involved in this program. Again, somewhere from Batesville Intermediate School to Batesville High School. Finding a place to practice and times to practice is quite the challenge. Take us through not only what a normal competition season looks like, but what the overall practice schedule entails.
So a normal competition season is you give up a lot of your Saturdays. Most Saturdays you are at some sort of archery tournament, and it's not as bad as it seems, I promise you that. It's about 45 minutes you give up, depending on, we show up 30 minutes before our flight time, and we're ready to rock and roll through those doors and defeat whatever competition's ahead of us. A practice standpoint, we through a whole week, we base it off. It is broken up into 3 different practices depending on what day. Wednesdays there's only 2 due to religious ed classes, but they run from 3:30 to 6:30. Okay. So we are broken up by grade level. So my practices is with freshmen. That's the way we can actually also mentor them. So our coaches do break it up. So our older groups and the kids that do have somewhat of experience can mentor the younger ones and help them also, since they're, like you said, it's hard to manage all those kiddos.
Where are your practices primarily held at?
They're primarily held at the Batesville Middle School gym.
In the old gym?
Yep.
So, Henry, we go next Friday night, right? March the 4th. We start Friday night. For those who haven't been to an archery meet, we typically shoot on Friday nights, and then there's flights all day on Saturday afternoon. Take us through what the structure of a meet looks like. What if I was a fan wanted to come watch us shoot in the Ox Gym, what that might look like, and then what a Saturday looks like from an archery standpoint.
So if you're going to go to watch, let's say, your grandson or anything like that, you're going to want to figure out what their flight time is. Usually they start at every hour, typically how that runs. But once you know their flight time, you'll show up maybe a few minutes early, and you'll just go through the entrance and you'll pay your fees. You can walk into the gym, there'll be grandstands there. And then eventually archers will come in at their time. Shoot will begin. There's a practice round and then 3 scoring rounds at 10, followed by a practice round, 3 scoring rounds again at 15. Usually that takes about a half hour to an hour to do the full competition. Once that's over, everybody will be collecting the cards and the scores will be tallied up shortly thereafter.
For those who haven't attended an archery meet before, it's a really interesting format. Everybody stands along one side of the gym and they just fire at targets, and then they keep score. There's also an individual and team competition format. Explain for us what that looks like.
So basically with archery, it's going to be a lot more individualized. It's going to be more so based on what you put into it. Sport, more you put in, the more you get out of it. By having that kind of individual aspect, you don't necessarily have to rely on so much to have fun with it. as compared to a football game or something like that. You have to rely on your team for that.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, if you are going there as an individual for competition, you might be able to get more enjoyment out of it yourself compared to having to rely still.
Sure. So Nadine recently received notification from Coach Weiler that each school, from intermediate school, middle school, high school, will be sending 2 teams to the state archery championship held March 11th. Both the high school and the middle school teams qualified 5th highest score overall for the tournament in their respective division, and the intermediate school, our 5th graders, had the 3rd highest. How does the team prepare for the upcoming state competition?
A lot of practice. We practice 2 times a week, an hour each, maybe even sometimes over. A lot of kids I know, we go out and shoot, personally, we take out our time to shoot beyond these practices because we want to be on our best A game, because we are currently ranked 2nd in state from last year, and our goal is to be 1st in state. I know the team that was ahead of us last year only beat us by a few points. It was very, very close.
So Henry, also to put that in a number, there are just under 4,500 archers trying to qualify for the Bullseye tournament. That represents 186 teams from 177 schools. So a lot of schools competing in this throughout the state of Indiana. Reflect on your time as an archer at BHS, and if you would, describe your overall experience.
Overall, it's been just a good experience. I started it here at the first year when archery began, and I've been with it ever since. It's just a good program to just get into something where you're not having to train as much as a sport where you have to go year round, something like that. But overall, with being at Batesville, I'm proud to be at Batesville for the archery part of it, for just how good the coaches are, the staff, and everything like that, as well as how good the program is, that we can get into these competitions without too much of competition from other schools to take our spots.
Nadine, you talked about the success we've had as a team, ranked 2nd or finishing 2nd. We go to this shoot at the state level on March 11th. That may not be it, right? So if at the state level, we may have a chance to progress on. If you would, talk us through a little bit what the month of March and into the spring season would look like, and also reflect, if you would, upon your time as an archer here at Batesville High School.
So March starts our state tournament, and depending on how we do there, we can move up and going on to nationals like we did last year, which was one of the best experiences of my entire life.
Good.
And then from nationals, we will move to worlds, hopefully. So that is our overall goal, to make it. I know our middle school team made it one year, and I think high schools got invited, but we didn't get enough people to go.
Okay. So it's a busy time. So the state tournament just kicks off the tournament season here next, or 2 Saturdays now, March 11th. So Henry, wrapping it up, March the 3rd and 4th is our last home meet. Typically we shoot on Friday night. Again, one more time for our listeners and watchers of this video. If they want to come support the archery team, particularly Batesville schools, what can they expect?
They can expect probably be pretty packed, being a home game, having a lot more schools come in as well. Just make sure to show up a little bit early to whatever flight you kind of choose to pick. Flight times should be posted, I believe. You can pick each grade or certain person you want to go see. Show up a little early. You'll be able to just walk right in basically once that flight time is coming up. Once you pay your fees, obviously.
Sure.
Walk in, you'll sit in the grandstands. Archers will file in. They go to the shooting line, and then it begins from there. Again, lasts about half hour to an hour.
Well, again, best of luck. Thank you for what you've done for this program as it's taken off, not only here at Batesville High School, but all throughout Batesville Community Schools. In this video, we also will have all the information so that you can see when the flight times come for Batesville High School, Batesville Middle School, and Batesville Intermediate School. I would encourage you to come out and see what kind of event this is and the talent that these individuals and some of the other individuals throughout our school system have in the archery competition. Thank you very much.
Thank you.